first challenge will be presented by Tanja Wissik on behalf of a whole group of people, and I'm afraid to try to pronounce all their names. Maybe you will mention them anyhow. So we have 15 minutes for each challenge, so a short presentation at the start and then discussion. So,
okay. Thank you for having me and presenting the first challenge. The challenge that I will present is an educational challenge, so it's about teaching digital humanities. So the digital humanities, as we have seen here during the conference, is a growing field, and it's an interdisciplinary field. There are more and more projects in the digital humanities, and therefore there is a demand of humanists that have digital competences and skills. And the challenges that we have is how to meet this demand on humanists or people working in the arts and humanities that have these digital competences and skills. From the single person perspective is how to acquire these skills and competences, and from the teachers, educators perspective or institutional perspective, how to teach these digital skills and competences. I will present a project that is trying to meet these challenges. It's a project that is only at the beginning, and there is a lot of room for discussion how to tackle all these challenges. When we look at the education and training landscape in the digital humanities, the DerryoEU project has a course registry where the courses for digital humanities in Europe, so it's only for Europe, are archived, and you can search for different degree courses in the digital humanities. At the moment there are 71 courses for digital humanities in this registry, and when we come to, as an example for Austria, because I'm from an Austrian institution, from the Austrian Academy of Sciences, in Austria at the moment we only have 2 courses for digital humanities. One course is information modeling within the humanities, but it's not actually a degree course. It's only a model that you can take with another degree course in another area of humanities, for example, with history or with linguistics or foreign languages, etc. And the other one is Europe Digital Arts and Cultural Heritage Studies. This is a joint master degree, so it's not run only by a university in Austria, but it's a joint degree program with other institutions in Europe. So you see, there are not many degree programs for digital humanities, but there are a lot of projects, and there is a demand for researchers in these projects and how to meet these demand. Since most of these degree programs are only established recently, so the students are in the way to finish the programs, so they are not on the market yet. So with this challenge and with this idea in mind, the DerryoTeach project was created. It's an Erasmus Plus project and a strategic partnership, and it's since already the name says DerryoTeach, it's closely related to the Darya project, so the European research infrastructure for the arts and humanities. The goal of the DerryoTeach project is to develop interactive, modal, localizable, open access and open source teaching materials for the digital arts and humanities. And I will explain that in a minute. There are, it's coordinated by the University of Ireland, and there are the partners listed. Therefore, we had this long list at the first slide on authors. So at the beginning of the project, we conducted an online survey. What are the hot topics? What is important for the digital humanities? And here are some topics that popped up. And I highlighted open humanities and open access. So that are our key questions in our project. We wanted to have material that is open access, so that this material is not only available in one particular course, but can be shared and it's like open for everybody. And also that the platform is open source and open access, that you don't have that it's not a commercial product, let's say. What is the target group of our material and of the platform? It's on one hand academic, and it's also non-academic. It's not country bound and it's not language bound, so we will provide multilingual content. We already had this today, that multilingualism is a big topic, that nobody should be excluded from digital humanities because they cannot understand the content and cannot follow. So one big topic is that it will be multilingual. It's for students that are enrolled in a higher education institution within a digital humanities course, or even in a normal, in a classical humanities course. It's for teachers and instructors in the digital humanities, but at the other hand, it should also be useful for individual learners. So, like for example, researchers in the art and humanities that are already established in their own field of research, but they are only coming now to the digital humanities as a topic. And maybe we could also have interested laypersons that would look at our platform. So there are mainly two use cases for the platform and the learning material. In a formal learning setting, so that instructors and teachers that are teaching at the university are using this learning material in their environment, at their course at the university, so that this learning material would be organized in a way that it will be easily integrated in other learning environments. And the other use case is that it should be could be also used in a self-study use case. So if you don't have an instructor or teacher that is leading you through this material, that you still can go to the can get to the same learning outcome than a student that have an instructor or teacher at the university. So for the beginning, we identified 5 topics that we would include in the platform.
Will you keep some time for discussion as well?
Yeah, okay. So you can see we have these models, and it will be multilingual. And the main thing is that the platform should not be isolated, it should not be a content silo, and it should be sustainable. Therefore, the Daria, it will be hosted after the end of the project by the Daria EU, so it will guarantee that it's sustainable, it will not disappear after the time of the project. And the first prototype of the platform will be available in 2016, and January 2017 the first content will be available for the public. And now there are these questions, what are how we can model these content and the platform that it can be useful for all these different use cases I showed, and that it should be also sustainable over time, so that the content will not stop to be produced after our project finishes, but that teachers and instructors are involved, that they will provide content and use content also after the end of the project.
Good. Thank you for this start. I'd like to open for discussion. So, who would like to start the discussion? Anna Maria?
Hi, thank you for this. I'm happy to hear that Daria is also elaborating a teaching perspective, you know, a teaching interest. But I would like to ask you, because it's not very clear to me. So this platform is going to be a supportive and alternative to current available DH degrees, because you know there is a market over there with DH programs and DH degrees from bachelors to PhDs. So
it should not be like, it should not be something that is it should be something that is additional, so that somebody that is not enrolled in a course can gain insights into digital humanities, and on the other hand that people that are teaching digital humanities in these courses can use learning materials in these degree courses.
To me, it's very problem. I don't know. I think that it could be also problematic in a way that there is a university and academic market, you know, selling degrees, and you're offering something free. You know, so I don't know. It's very wild to me. It's very strange. So I mean, it has to be something different from the available programs. So it's some.
Like we are not giving a degree. We are not giving credit. So it's really, we are making available learning material. So it's not, we are not selling or giving for free bachelor degrees or a master degree. So like it's another, like we are only in this field of learning materials.
Are there any other people who are worried about sharing such kind of information, sharing your notes for a course you've given, that others give the same course without having prepared it in the same way? I think that's the basis, perhaps, of your worries. I could imagine that it could make you quite happy as well to get a start for your own course in that way.
For example, we have in this consortium, we have also a Serbian partner, and this partner is very worried about that there is no learning material available in Serbian language.
Yes, from Greece as well. I'm coming from Greece, and we don't have a current bachelor, for example. But you know, it could be an add-on thing, but also it could be kind of. I'm very skeptical.
Yeah, and at the same time, it could be considered unfair competition.
Wait a minute.
Private.
Microphone.
Yeah, at the same time, it could be considered as unfair competition for private agents working in the sector. So it's very easy to provide open and free learning materials in the internet when you are a public institution, and you have your resources coming from other sources, but at the same time, simultaneously, there are other private actors that they had to fight to get these resources as well when they provide the same learning materials. Sorry.
Okay. I think there was another question over here, which maybe is a reaction also to this.
I was it's more of a kind of more general and a kind of open comment on on a slightly different topic. I was struck by the title of your talk about the jobs market, and I think a really important aspect that you've kind of raised here that's quite different when it comes to pedagogy and teaching, as opposed to the, if you will, the kind of the research environment, which is where a lot of digital humanists tend to think about. If you're thinking about a course which is going to attract a lot of students, you have to expect that the majority of those students will not become academic researchers and will be looking to work in a completely non-academic environment. So one of the things maybe in terms of widening this discussion here, so to you but also to other people, we'll be thinking about what kinds of things could we emphasize within the digital humanities in these kinds of courses, in terms of working in the private sector, in the public sector, in any non-academic sector, because I think that's the only way we'll bring in the kinds of numbers that make these projects courses sustainable. And again, it's through making those sustainable that you'll get that buy-in to DerryoTeach.
At the moment, we are conducting a survey, so not the survey I was mentioned, but a survey with in-depth interviews and focus groups about what are the needs, what are the different skills and competences that really persons would need to survive at the market. So we are not yet there because it's a project that only recently started, but we really consider this, and we have an ongoing survey to go really there what is needed in the market, not only in the research.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Yes, it's a very interesting presentation. I wonder if you could give us an example of those learning tools that you're talking about. I would like to understand whether you propose units in which different digital projects done in different platforms by different people across the world get used as examples, or if you are organizing more like a practicum in which someone could follow different ways of learning the digital with, I don't know, a sense of like lessons. Yes.
So one typical example would be that there is a lesson with different units for text encoding. So today we heard a lot of projects where text encoding is involved, and a lot of people said that before they were not involved in text encoding, about what is TEI and so on. So we would build a practical lesson on how to work with TEI, to encode example text in TEI, to see if I have encoded the text in the right way, to present tools to do it in a semi-automatic way. Yeah, that would be.
So could you give me an example of the tools?
I think,
like
we should
for
keep
example,
we're at the time limit for this session. Perhaps that's too much detail, and the focus better be on discussion, I think. So if there's one final remark for this part of our challenges, then yes.
I'm not sure if you have already said that, but are there already some materials in the website to be found? No. Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Tanya.
thank you.